Hello, I'm Brenda Bingham with the Blue Star Mothers. Welcome to Community Talk. And with me today I have Jolene Taylor. She's our treasurer, and we're going to share a few things with you. Jolene, would you like to tell them what time our meetings are and our packings?
Yeah, we have our business meeting the second Thursday of every month at 6:30, and we pack boxes every fourth Thursday of every month at 6:30.
Right, except for this month. We've already done it, so we won't be having a packing Thursday night.
Yeah.
The 28th, I believe it is. Is it the 28th? 27th. Anyway, one night this week.
That's the 28th. But anyway, we only had one box this month because some of the rest of them came home. And I went to the post office, and they all know me for taking all these boxes down there. And I said, only got one today. And he says, yeah, really? And I said, yeah. I said, aren't you lucky? And he said, well, will you be back before the end of the month with more? And I said, no. And he's like, phew.
Yes, it is a process.
Because they have to enter everything that we've already entered, you know, and it takes
A long
while.
time. Seems like a couple hours
It
usually.
does.
Yeah.
And you get dirty looks from people that's standing in line waiting to
Like,
get
would
there.
you hurry up? But, you know, it's a good thing we do it for the troops.
Yes,
So.
I don't mind standing there.
And the price went up, didn't it?
$14.35 from
Yes.
$13.65 to $14.35.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just have to work a little harder each
Right.
month. But anyway, it's just slow right now for all of the Blue Star Mothers. I was reading in our monthly letter that we get from Nationals, and she said that it was slow for a lot of the moms. And so, you know, but that's a good thing. That means that our troops aren't all over there or
Right.
doing something, you know, or being away from home. And so we're kind of thankful that that's happening, you know. You get excited to send a box and you get excited to make someone's day. But when you're not sending that box, it's
Right.
like, yay, they're home, they're safe. So, but we'll be here as long as they need us, and we'll
Right.
continue to raise funds to cover, you know, when we do need to send, because we never know. Next month, we may get that 100 names, or
Right.
we may get a whole unit that's going that we haven't heard about. But
Right.
and we'll be there and for the veterans too, and whatever. If we was closer to the VA, we could help some with
could help.
them. And you know, that's fun to do. Go play bingo with them and do different things. But since we have to drive almost 100 miles to
Yeah.
get there. So, anything going on that you'd like to share?
Well, we don't have any fundraisers till April. And the bad part about that is that both snake hunts are both the same weekend. The home show's the same weekend. And the Red Dirt Barbecue's the same weekend. And we don't have enough people to hit all of them.
That's
But
right.
we will hit one snake hunt and the home show.
Yeah. Yeah, the home show is already set up. And the snake hunt, we just can't decide which one to
Yeah.
really do. Winoka's so far out there, but at the same time,
That's
you
a-
know,
we
we
make
reach
more.
a lot of people that we normally don't. So, and we just love all the trains every
5, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. But, you know, it is fun if we don't get stormed out.
Yeah. I just read in the paper where there is a German restaurant there that we need
I
to try.
seen that. I was like, oh, do they have Wiener Schnitzel?
I don't know, you know, but that
Yeah.
would be neat to get to go to that.
Right, because, you know, when you were stationed overseas, well, Germany, which we was, and I can make the schnitzel, but it's still just not the same.
Right.
So, I would love to have it. I think I would make the trip to Germany one more time just to get to see some of that and to, it was so, I enjoyed it,
Right.
even though we were separated from our families and all that. But, it was really neat that we got to go to some of those places.
Now, I never went. My husband went to Okinawa, but I never went with him. And so at that time, if I'd have went, we'd had to stay 3 years.
Yeah, we did too.
And he only had to stay a year and a half. So I stayed back with the kids and
Yeah.
stuff, but I enjoyed military life.
Yeah, we did too. We really enjoyed it. And sometimes, you look back and you're like, wow, where did that time go?
Right.
But, we were young and, Christy was just 5 months old. And so it was different. And at times we were very sad that we was away from home. But, sometimes it makes you grow fonder of each other when you don't have everybody to run to.
Right. And we were in Goldsboro, North Carolina for 5.5 years. And you didn't have family.
Yeah.
But sometimes it makes you wonder if not living around family, you can do what you want and don't have anybody criticizing you for what you're doing,
This is true too.
It was good years.
Yeah. So, when we go out to the base, which I get to go to the base quite often, but, the young people out there, I love to see them come in and they're so surprised at what's going on. And so, but I love supporting the men and women in uniform, don't you?
Yes, yes.
There's something about those young men and women in uniform that just get you once your child's been there and done that. And
My grandson, he's Army, and when he puts that uniform on, he's so handsome. I know I'm prejudiced, but
yeah, I think we all felt that way, But I hope that we can continue to serve our young men and women and do all of those things. So, and like we said, the fundraisers is kind of slow right now. It's
Right.
been so cold, that we slow down a lot. But we still have our store open in the mall on Thursdays and Fridays, usually from 10 to 5. Sometimes if you've got something you've got to do right before, you might be a few minutes late, but normally we're there. So we have a quilt that we're selling chances on right now. It's red, white, and blue quilt. And it's really, really pretty.
it is pretty.
And it's $1 a piece or 6 for $5. And we have a few items in the store, that we sell for donations. Some jewelry
Yes.
that we've got. A lot of turquoise jewelry.
It's all handmade, and my daughter's mother-in-law made them, and they found them all in the attic when she passed away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they are nice.
Yeah. So, stop in and see us. And we still have our wheel out there. We have a young lady that comes through there just about every morning. She's bored and she's out walking the mall. And she comes in and she says, "What do you have today?" And I was like, "I don't know. What do you need today?" And she's like, well, she wanted to buy a chance on the quilt. And so we done that, and then she wants to spin the wheel. She loves spinning the wheel because you never know if you're going to get a package of cookies or,
Right.
a grab bag or anything like that. But she really enjoys
Yeah,
that.
she loves that wheel.
We have fun with that wheel. One of our dads made that, Clayton, made that for us, and it's really fun to watch the surprise and the people, especially the young kids, excited about, oh, what am I going to get? It's so
Especially
fun.
when they get a grab bag and it's got a lot of little things in it, they tear them open and they're looking and, going through that bag.
Yeah, yeah. And then we've got, it'll be a little bit, but we've got nationals coming up in
Right.
August. It seems a little ways out. It's actually the end of July, I'm sorry. But it seems a little ways out, but when you're planning, it takes a little bit. And so we're going to Minnesota.
To the place where the biggest
Largest,
mall in the world, in the
Yeah.
States is.
yeah. So that's going to be kind of exciting, I think. At least it should be warm in July.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So Jolene and I usually go together. We'll try to convince another mom or two to go if they would like to. We would love for them to go for the experience and for the sharing with each other what you do to
Right.
support our troops and support our moms. Sometimes, we've been there and done that. Our son's, or my son's home, your grandson's still going, but sometimes these younger moms, they need the support.
They need the support.
They need to know that it's really going to be okay, and you get through it and you're so proud, but you're scared half silly. So, but it's a lot to deal with, but we hope that that the moms will come and join, and there's a lot of history. I guess we need to get some more history out and let people know what's going on with the moms.
Yeah, they, especially your young moms that have never had their children away from them, they really, this is an awful hard thing for them to take sometimes.
It is.
But, and I had, of course, I raised my grandson, and I had a little bit of a problem, but, being military, my husband being in the military, I wasn't as bad as some of your
Right.
young moms that's never experienced any military stuff.
That's right.
So,
That's right. And I think that's very true because my husband was in. But I have to tell you, putting your husband on the plane and not knowing, how long it's going to be or when he's coming home and all that, that's scary. It really is. Especially when you're home with 2 or 3 little kids, and it's really tough. And I've cried all the way back to Enid, Oklahoma several times.
I remember thinking, it just almost felt like you were going to go into hysterics because I had 4 kids, and he climbed on that plane. I just felt like I was never going to see him again.
Exactly.
And it was tough.
It
but
was.
You go on, you got
Yeah.
your kids, and you just go on and hold up the home front.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do.
And back then, you had to make an appointment to make a phone call, and it would take like a month to make this one phone call, and then you only had so many minutes. And,
Exactly. So you look forward to the letters and the notes and the phone calls. But now you have more communication.
you do.
And all that, but it still is the hardest thing you'll do is to put that son or daughter on that
Right.
plane. But anyway,
And when that phone rings at 2:30 in the morning,
you can
answer
answer.
because it's
Yeah.
probably them.
Yeah, fall over everything trying to get to the phone. But anyway, sorry, about choked myself there. I guess I did. We're running out of time here, and it seems like we've just jabbered on. But I would like to thank everyone for what they do for the Blue Star Mothers. We have people bring books to us. We have people that bring items to send to the troops. Thank you all. It
And they
takes
bring
all
us
of you.
checks, donations.
Right. And of course, we're so thankful for Communitytalk for letting us come on here and talk about what we want to or what's going on. So thank you so much. And would you like to say anything?
Well, just stop if you're in the mall, stop and see us, or if you're just walking by, come on in and say hello. It gets kind of boring out there sometimes. And you see these people walk by, you know, so stop in and say hi. You don't have to do anything but look around, and we'll visit, and, you know.
That's right. So we would like to say thank you again. Continue to support our troops. Continue to keep them in your prayers, and keep America in your prayers. And we thank all of you. God bless America. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Julie Nelson with Hospice Circle of Love. We're a not-for-profit organization that helps terminally ill patients and their families. And we're at 314 South 3rd. Our website is hospicecircleoflove.com. Be watching for us on upcoming segments of Community Talk.
Welcome back to Community Talk, everybody. In the great city of Enid, I am extremely excited to be in studio today again. You guys have not missed me too much. I hope not. But I have a wonderful guest in the studio. My name is Demetrius Office. I'm the chairman of the Salvation Army Board, and I have right here in studio with me someone that is making ripples in the city already, Victor Estudiante. And who are you, Victor? Tell the audience. I just really want the audience to really get to know you. Who are you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born and raised in Northwest Arkansas. Family is a big deal to me. I went to school at the University of Arkansas. So we're in the SEC, right? Not in the Big
SEC.
Ten. So we don't have to worry about that rivalry here in Oklahoma. But no, I'm just somebody that I really and truly love people. I love my family, and I love the Lord.
Okay.
And here in the Salvation Army, I've been privileged to have the opportunity to travel and see people in need all over the South. It started in Fayetteville, and then after that, I went into ministry with the Salvation Army in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Very nice.
I was there for several years before moving to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yes.
And then I got to move here again to Enid, Oklahoma, and I just travel, and wherever the Lord calls me to go, I go.
Yes. Well, you guys have a good chance to actually get to know Victor, because, like I said, he's creating so many ripples around the city of Enid already, and you're going to get a chance to meet his other half, Miranda Estudiante, as well here in just a moment. But a lot of people don't really realize that there's a difference in rank and responsibilities for the Salvation Army, and so a lot of people, tend to see our officers. What position do you hold in the Salvation Army?
Yeah, so the Salvation Army has what's called a quasi-military structure. Okay. So our structure, just to come and join the Salvation Army and be a part of our fellowship and ministry, anyone is welcome. If you should choose to become a member of the Salvation Army, then you get the blue on your uniform here,
okay.
And that it signifies that you're a soldier of the Salvation Army. And a soldier, the original mission and vision of the Salvation Army was to fight in a battle against homelessness, hunger, and really just against the sin of the world. And so that's what we do as soldiers. We enlist and we enroll to fight that same battle here in wherever city we're placed.
And let me ask you a personal question here. Is this the path that you want to become an officer as a soldier? Is that in the future?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Whenever I took up the role as soldier, I was doing that in my hometown for that local corps of the Salvation Army in Rogers, Arkansas. But I really saw this ministry as the way that I could give back to the blessing that God has given me. My family, we met the Salvation Army because my family had worked so hard, and they built an amazing life for all of us.
Okay.
But there was a natural disaster. We lost our house to a fire.
Oh, wow.
And just in a blink of an eye, we lost everything.
Wow.
We went from having everything my parents had earned and worked hard for to having nothing. And the Salvation Army met us in that moment of need. And they made sure that we had food, we had clothing.
Wow.
And for us kids at Christmas time, they made sure that we had gifts. And that was something my parents weren't able to provide at the time. And I knew from that moment moving forward that this is where I was destined to be.
I'm having a heart moment with you right now, because several years ago, I didn't know really much about the Salvation Army, and just coming to a Beyond the Bell ringing and touring our facilities and seeing all of the programs that we have going on, I just was overwhelmed at what was happening right here in this community with the Salvation Army, and just to see the size of the population that we serve, it's just breathtaking. And it's people that wear the same faces as you and your wife and myself that we serve, and we just have such a big mission, and that bleeds my heart a little bit. It just makes me want to get out and serve the most.
Absolutely.
So I mean, like I said, guys, you guys gonna have a really fun experience with this guy. I'm gonna take him back a little bit. We first met at one of our camps that we do every year, for the Salvation Army, Camp Hardo Hills. And if you haven't experienced Camp Hardo Hills, I want to personally invite you with me. To go to Hardo Hills. But that's the first time I got a chance to meet this guy, and he actually stood out to me at Camp Hardo Hills. So when I first heard that him and his wife was actually coming, I was like, this is God's calling right here, and we're about to have a lot of fun. And so I want you to take a moment to talk about some of the fun things that already. When did you get here?
So we arrived on December 1st.
Okay.
And if you know anything about the Salvation Army, you know that Christmas season is a huge season for us. So as soon as we arrived, bell ringers were already at stores, angel trees were already up, and we just came here and hit the ground running, making sure that we met the need for all of those kids, doing everything that we could to make sure that we raised the funds that we needed to operate all year long. Because those funds we raised at Christmas time, they do go to help our Christmas efforts, but we raise money at that time to help support everything we do all year long.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so.
That's so awesome. Now, we got something coming up that's big. And I want you to share with our community. What is it that we got coming up?
Yeah, coming up, we have a day camp for kids. Spring break is coming up. It's right around the corner. And parents, especially working parents, really rely on schools to make sure that their children have a place to go to during the day. And with schools being out that week, there's going to be a lot of kids that are in need of a place to go. So we're offering a place for kids ages 6 to 11 to come and attend. The cost is $65 per week. But with that, they get meals each and every day. They get a snack. We go on field trips every single day. We are getting T-shirts for the kids. We have activities planned, crafts planned, just amazing programs for kids. It runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that's March 18th through the 22nd.
Okay, March 18th through the 22nd. You heard it first right here on Community Talk, guys. Get your kids signed up. They have tons of activities, tons of things. We've looked over the itinerary, and they're going to have a blast, and you just don't want to miss this. There's God in this all throughout this, so you want to get them plugged in. Victor, thank you for joining me in the studios and sharing with the community who you are. I am so confident that you're going to get in here and you're going to just create some ripples, and it's the best ripples that this community is going to be able to experience. So thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, thank you for this actual segment of Community Talk. I'm going to bring his wife in so you can see the other side of things. All right, you blinked, and now we're back, and you didn't miss a thing. So I got right now a superstar woman in studio right now, Miranda Estudiante. Hey, how are you today?
Very good. Very excited to be here. Thank you.
I know you are. This girl, her energy is just fusing on the outside of her. I got a chance to, like I said, I met Victor at the camp, and then I got the chance to meet Miranda when they first got here in December for our holiday, offerings, and I just knew right from the start, walking in there, and how hard she was working and how much she had going on, that she was going to be a wonderful addition. So I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, I love it here.
So
Thank
tell
you.
the community a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Miranda. I'm originally from Shawnee, Oklahoma, so I'm really close to home right now, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But like Victor said, we love traveling, so just being here at home is nice, but we also just like just to go and help where we can and be a part of the Salvation Army.
Yeah, yeah. So do you have brothers and sisters? How did you come to the Salvation Army?
Yeah, so in Shawnee, I had a really great childhood, like really awesome. I have two brothers, they're older brothers,
Okay.
but they are 8 and 10 years older than I am. So
Okay.
they're much older, but they moved out, so I became almost like an only child at that point. But it was great. It was a fabulous time. But at age 11, my parents ended up splitting up, and
Okay.
the Salvation Army was actually a walking distance from my house.
Wow.
They had an after-school program, kind of like how we're doing here with the summertime and with spring break. They had something like that, but it was for after school.
Yes.
And I was able to walk there after school and just be able to do my homework and be away from, the things that were going on at home.
Yeah.
So that's how I first started, and then they invited me to church from there, and I just never left.
Never left.
Yep.
He was a lifer. We got one. So I want to kind of, I've asked Miranda to actually explain a little bit, because with, every Salvation Army is a little bit different, and have different services and programs that we offer in every Salvation Army. And we have so many programs that we run here, and sometimes these assignments requires a spouse or some sort of support with you. So why is that so important to have somebody with you?
Yeah, of course. So Victor and I, the Lord makes people so different, and we all have our talents and our abilities. And though Victor and I, we work really well together, he has things that he's very strong in, and I have things that I'm very strong in. And so we just work off each other, and I believe God put us together because of our strengths and because of the things that we're passionate about. And he put us together, and he knows what he's doing. So
Absolutely.
we really enjoy working together and just making this mission for the Lord possible.
You guys are going to see so much of this power couple, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say it's just power couple, because what they've been able to do in just this small time frame to get partners together. I want her to talk about some of the partners that we got together for something that's big that's coming up.
Yeah.
But to get those partners together in that small window of opportunity to what is going to be, coming down the line, and for the fellowship and the ministry that we get to share with the community is absolutely incredible. And so I've asked this couple to come into the studio because I really wanted them to I wanted you guys to get to know them and them to get to know you guys so that we can all have some fun. But tell us something about what's big that's happening coming up in this community.
Yes, it's huge. It's going to be the event of the year. You don't want to miss it for sure. But on March 30th, we're having a community health event. So this is just for really anyone in the area, but it's for people in Enid just to know the resources that are out there and that are for them. Really, we're just bringing all of the community and businesses of Enid that are health related in one area so they know what is really in our city.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the partners that I've seen that we've connected with, I was a little bit jealous. I'm just gonna say this. I was a little bit jealous because one of the partners that we were successful at partnering with was Oklahoma Blood Institute. Mm-hmm. And I met with those folks several times, and they just happened to come in and get them to partner with us really fast. And so talk about some of the partners that has connected with us in this.
Yeah, so like you said, we do have Oklahoma Blood Institute. They're coming. They're going to be an appointment. You can come into the Salvation Army and make an appointment as well as walk-ins as well. But we're also going to have free haircuts. So we're going to have JCPenney's there, and they're going to give out free haircuts. And it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
So in that whole time period, they're giving out free haircuts.
Okay.
Which is also a huge deal. But we're also going to have multiple doctors, multiple nurses. We're going to have someone doing senior care, living, stretches and aerobics, things for your outside physical body.
Yeah.
But we also want to focus on your spiritual well-being as well. So we're going to do some prayer time as well.
Good.
But yeah, we're going to have free massages as well.
Sign me up.
Yeah, that's what
Sign
I'm
me
talking
up.
about. Yeah. But it's just going to be a great event for for the community of Enid to come together and just know what's out there and the resources that the Salvation Army can give you for different health events and different health needs you might have.
Yeah.
We have those resources we can give you, and there's also this in Enid as well. So
You know, I just absolutely love this direction that the Salvation Army is heading in, because I for one think that it's a total quality of life experience that we're after. We not only want to feed you, we don't want to clothe you, but we want to share the love of God with you, you know, and see what your walk is like, and how can we make that impact in your life, and you guys are doing that. You know, so say the date again.
it is March 30th.
March 30th.
From 10 to 2. I also wanted to add, we're going to have a chef there, and he's going to teach you the better ways of healthy cooking as well. And we're going to have food there that we're going to serve, and games and prizes, and a photo booth as well.
Good.
We are in the works of getting the police department here to take pictures of your kids and fingerprints, so that if anything were to happen, you would have access to those information. But
Yeah. Well, these guys have been so instrumental in really breaking the chains of, just those disparities of life, and with some of the things that they've ushering in just such a small window. They've come in, been very instrumental, been very positive throughout it, been very welcoming, and just ready to go at any time. And that's Victor and Miranda Estudiante. When you see these guys out here, I want you guys to give them a big Enid hug and a big welcome to our community. And they may hug you even harder than you hugging them, because that's just the heart that they have behind them. And I just cannot wait for you guys to really get to know this couple, because they mean the world to the Salvation Army. They mean the world to our mission and our vision, and they're gonna rock and roll. Thank you so much for this edition of Community Talk. You guys have a blessed day.
Hi, I'm Tracy Biddle from Leonardo's Children's Museum. Don't forget to come see us at 200 East Maple in downtown Enid, and also watch for us here on Community Talk.
Hi, I'm Tree Perkins with Youth and Family Services, and I brought with me today a special guest, Kaylee Prather. Kaylee has been a resident of our Transitional Living Program, and now she is a graduate of our Transitional Living Program. So I am so happy for you, and I think this is a wonderful opportunity for you to visit with us about your experience with Youth and Family Services and the Transitional Living Program, and just kind of help us inform our consumers about the things that they support. So when they give to us financially, it's programs like the Transitional Living Center that help people like you, and you have become successful now and on your own. So I'm excited about that, and I really wanted to share that with our viewers. So welcome. I'm so happy that you agreed to come with me. I know not everybody is just dying to do an interview on TV, but I appreciate your willingness to do this with us.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, how did you hear about Youth and Family Services?
I actually, because I'm a young mother, I had dropped out of school, and so I was determined to go back to school. So I found CDSA, and when I was talking to the director and the teacher there, and I told them what situation I was living in, they said, that's no place for you and a baby. They said, I'm calling this lady, and we're going to get you set up. Called Joanna. Joanna was like, well, look, and I had to tell her, I have a big story behind me. So I had to tell her my story, but she was like, I want you here. Like, okay. So I ended up in TLP.
That's wonderful. And CDSA is one of our partner agencies, and they are so wonderful to work with, and we partner with them as far as helping our residents get their GEDs, go back to college. I mean, there's so many great things CDSA has to offer, and this just shows what a great partnership can do for our community.
Definitely.
So wonderful that they called Joanna Motes, who's our residential director, to get you started. So you have children.
Oh, yeah.
And so you came into the program with your youngest, is that correct? And what was that experience like, having a child with you?
It was at first I was worried, because I knew with the new house that TLP had, I was being the first to move into it. And so, like, I knew other girls were going to move into it. And I was really worried that having a 1-year-old was going to bug these other girls because I didn't know if they were going to find someone that came in and they were going to have kids, or they were going to be having kids, or they were going to be those kind of high school girls that just needed that place to go, that are like, I don't care for kids. And so it was a very scary idea. Like, I thought I was going to have to like split the house up to make them comfortable. Like, I'm going to hide in my bedroom all the time. But that just wasn't the case. This whole program was really accepting of my son. And every time I bring him into the office now, it's like he's a center of attention.
He has lots of aunties now.
Oh, yeah, plenty.
Well, what we found is actually it's our young mothers who are the most successful, because you're motivated and driven by the fact that you have a child to support, and that becomes your whole life, and you aspire to do better for your children.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly what you did. So you serve as a role model for others out there. Tell me a little bit about the house that you lived in while you were in transitional living program.
I actually moved from the house to the duplexes.
Okay.
I started out in the house, and we ended up with 2 very big personalities living in the house. Granted, the house and having as many girls in this house was a trial and error thing. So at that point, I went to Joanna and I told her, I was like, we're 2 big personalities. We can be best friends, and we still kind of talk every now and then. But we just aren't those girls that can live together. But after I switched over to the duplexes, I went over there, I walked in the door of group day, and I was just like, hey, what's up? Like, it was nothing to me.
So you found yourself at home there?
Yeah,
Good.
Definitely. No matter where I was always at home. I felt safe, and that was something very important to me because I hadn't felt safe in a very long time.
That is important. It's hard to achieve anything when you're worried about just your basic needs and that feeling of safety. So you found that with us.
I did.
Can you tell me a little bit about some of the requirements of the program? What were some of the things that you did while you were with the program?
Well, it wasn't hard for me, but I'd watched people struggle a little bit with some of the requirements because you had to be drug and alcohol free, you had to maintain a job or school or both if you could. And granted, I hadn't done any of it prior. I had my job, I was in school, like I had basic things that a young mother would have. So it wasn't hard for me to follow those requirements, but it's definitely like if you go from I'm on the street, so I'm just gonna party all the time, to I have to buckle down and get things done. Like it's hard at the beginning. It's a fight but it's worth fighting.
So there's definitely a difference in the people who succeed and the people who don't.
There's a big difference.
What do you think for you was your reason for being able to succeed?
When someone tells me I can't do something or says that I'm going to end up being somebody that isn't going to work, I'm going to throw you to the ground. Like, I'm going to prove you wrong.
So you'll accept a challenge.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So that was I was told that by a couple people, and I was pretty sure it was just, I don't like you because you have something better than I do. But I was determined, like, I'm going to show you anyway.
So then you got into the program and you said, okay, watch me.
Yeah.
Good deal. So tell me, how long were you in the transitional living program before you graduated?
I actually was able to go early. I was in there 11 months instead of the full year, but that's because as I hit phases, by the time I had hit phase 3, I had the money saved up myself, my money that I paid for rent, and my fiance now, we're determined to get settled in together as soon as the program was over so we could move into college and be more comfortable. And so with all those factors played in, we had found somewhere and it was open. We didn't expect it. We expected to have to wait till I was there a complete year. So I actually got to leave at 11 months.
That's exciting though. That just shows your hard work. So what all did you learn while you were in the program?
I wasn't a very organized person coming into the program. I would fluster everything. Like if I had to find something, I was crazy, or room checks drove me up a wall because I was a person, like I was raised, like you make a mess throughout the day, you clean it up at night. But my grandma also is a stay-at-home grandma, and that's who raised me, so that's just kind of what I was developed to. But room checks is like, I've got to make sure my house is clean in the morning. I've got to get everything done. So room checks was something that was hard, but it was okay. But organizing and making sure everything's clean, like in a decent way. I sort of learned a little more of cooking skills. I wasn't taught to cook as a kid. So that was something Joanna liked to do. She would come over and she'd talk, and I'd start cooking, and she'd be like, well, I'm glad you're cooking.
And did you learn about any financial things,
Oh, yeah,
like
they had,
savings and things like that?
The City National Bank that's in our Walmart here, they offered to come in, and they came in for a couple weeks and talked to us, and that was actually a lot more help than I thought it was going to be. I thought I
Good.
was going to go in and out one year on me because I don't do numbers very well.
Well, me either.
It did. It taught me a lot, though.
Good. So what would you say, moving forward, has been the best thing you've learned, or what maybe you'll take with you into the future from transitional living?
I think being in that program really shows you like who's going to be your support system and who's going to stay around. And I definitely feel like if I have a problem and Joanna, like if I think Joanna and Brandon would be able to help, I definitely believe that I could still call them.
You could, for sure.
And they could, even if it was just to look something up to help me, they would, I feel like they would do it. And now I know, like, what I thought was family to me, like I didn't grow up with a big family. So I had a bunch of what I called street family. And I learned that not a lot of them were there either. So it definitely showed me what I had support-based. And I really feel like Joanna and the group at Youth and Family and everyone in TLP became a big part of it.
And everyone at Youth and Family will still be there for you and anyone else that's in the program even after you graduate to serve as a support system, and even just there for information.
Yeah.
So we're always with you and the rest of our TLP residents. So I'm glad you feel like you can call, because you certainly can. So what does your future look like? What's your next move?
I have to take the ACT, but college is a big step here soon, and then I'm actually getting married in November.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then there is a big chance that in the next couple of years a move is in our future, but we're still deciding and playing the where are we going to go game. But definitely college and marriage and all
you're
that fun
working
stuff.
full time. That's wonderful. Well, I congratulate you for your efforts, sticking with the program, making it work, and you just help us get our point across because you're successful. And we appreciate that we have people like you that are dedicated and motivated and want to make the program work, because that's what we're here for. And seeing you succeed is priceless. So I just want to say to viewers out there that if you want to help us support programs like this and keep these kind of residential programs going, please come to our gala, which is March 9th from 6 to 11 p.m. at Central National Bank Center here in Enid. Tickets are $75 a piece. You can visit www.yfsenid.org for tickets, or you can call the office at Youth and Family, which is 580-233-7220. Ask for Tree, and I will be happy to help you get tickets. So thank you so much for supporting Youth and Family Services. Thank you, Kaylee, for being here. I appreciate you so very much, and I'm just very happy for you.
Thank you.
If your nonprofit group would like to be on Community Talk, give us a call at 540-8918.